Now is your time to flex.
What up, everybody, and welcome back to the 13th floor, where the furniture isn't always the best, but the views are amazing. Of course, I'm the moderator, B. Jones, and it feels great to be back in the saddle. If you've been following us, we started doing introductory podcasts for the Fledgeology team members. And last show, Carol, jumped in my seat, asked me a few questions, did a pretty good job with it. You got to see a little bit of the dynamic between me and him, a couple of quips here and there, a couple of subtle jabs or whatnot, but it's all good, man. I hope you have a little bit better, understanding or just a little bit more knowledge about the moderator, me, B. Jones. So we're going to continue with that today and bring it to the mic, El Fresh-Dente himself.
Yes,
Fresh
sir.
By popular demand. What we came up with the other day, what was it? Chic Fresh?
We got the Chic Fresh, and we have Dope Beard Fresh. Those have been added to the alias list. I have a long list of aliases.
But the
I tend to definitely get those often in my journeys throughout life. I have many names I've been known as. Some good, some bad. Some good, some bad.
Well, for those who haven't been following the 13th floor and the Fledgecast, this is Government Ian Adams, but to everybody Fledgeology related and to all of you out there, he is DJ Barry B. Fresh, the freshest DJ on the planet. Welcome to the show, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm here live and direct.
Yeah, man. So we're going to get in today. The show is How Fresh is Fresh. So we're going to jump right into it, man. What's going on? Give us a little bit of background, where you from, where you started, and we're going to just take off from there.
Similar to yourself, well, I'm an Army brat too. I was surprised to find out that you guys were stationed in Anchorage, because I actually spent 10 years of my youth after being born in Indiana. We moved to Fairbanks, Alaska, because my dad was in the Army, and I was there for 10 years until 12 when we moved down to Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio. Really Shaker Heights. Shout out to Shaker Heights. And then from Shaker Heights, 96. Oh man! In 96, we moved down to Cooper City, Florida. Real culture shock, but you can see throughout my life, I tried to do my best to run as far away as I could from the cold, and I really feel good that I've succeeded in making sure that I've kind of planted myself in an area that cold is not a normal occurrence, I guess, at the end of the day.
All right, and so now you're down in Florida. You say Boynton Beach, yeah?
Yes, sir. We are Boynton Beach dwellers now. Like many of my Fledge mates, I'm a prestigious member of the University of Miami, alumni.
Shout out to the Canes, baby. All about the youth.
You better know it. Canes over here all day, every day. But have come to settle down in Boynton Beach with my lady and our daughter.
Okay. How old is your daughter?
She is 10 going on 37 probably.
It's amazing how that happens, man. It's crazy, man. I didn't realize we had so much in common, man. Going from the military to being in Alaska. I have a daughter myself. She's 7 going on about 25, man. And it's amazing watching that attitude, because I feel like
process
just from Thanksgiving to now, I feel like she first of all grew 3 inches out of nowhere. And I feel like the attitude came with it to match. So she got this
trust
and this air, and it's just like a 7-year-old kind of growing in, to what they're going to be. So I'm just getting glimpses of what I guess I have to look forward to.
Man, all you can do is buckle up, and man, it's an interesting ride. I love my daughter to death, but it's always so amazing watching her grow and get into the things that she likes. And I love sitting back and watching her interact with her friends. So, being able to take her to one of her friends' birthday parties and seeing all the girls come running, oh my God, Taylor's here, and doing that stuff. That's the stuff that really gets to me and it makes me feel warm and fuzzy,
Easy, yes, I could definitely identify with that. Backing up a little bit, so I want to talk about the military a little bit, because we got my spiel on how it felt to be a military brat and moving, from place to place. For me, it was every 3 years. It was you got to stay in Alaska for about 10. So how was growing up as a military kid for you?
For me, that's what's funny. It wasn't I didn't move as frequently as most military kids. However, growing up in Alaska, I definitely had a different. I didn't know as many, like city black people,
Right.
and really, it's a different mind state up there. It's a different lifestyle. It's a different culture. And so my father is like, granted he had graduated from Purdue. That's where him and my mother met. By the time he went into the military and got us up there, but this guy is an ex, gang leader from Gary, Indiana. And
Wow.
I don't know if any of you guys know about Gary, Indiana, but that is like, it's where Michael Jackson and the Jacksons are from, but B was one of the most rough areas in America, historically, repetitively, over and over again. And my dad, was a product of that environment. And it's funny because I didn't even know that information until I was probably like 30 years old.
Really?
And never, I never knew. My brother knew, but the period in my life, I guess in my family's, life, as far as my brother being born and then me being born and us moving up to Alaska, there was a lot of my older brother, my only brother, is like my dad's son in the sense of like my dad really had him a lot and was taking him around teaching him like, hey man, you don't let nobody, do no job, turkey stuff to you, because this back like, late 70s, early 80s. So, he's making sure my brother is on point with things like that. And when I came along, I wound up being more my mom's son. And so I can't believe I'm telling this on air, but we actually used to have groups in our family where my brother and my father were they were the turtle heads, and me and my mom were the Sweetum rolls. And so we have, like, when stuff was going down in the house, exactly. The turtle heads were my brother and my father, both Davids. So we have David Adams Sr. and David Adams Jr. And then we had me and my mother. My mom's name is Kim. And so it was me and my mother were the Sweetum rolls. And my brother, which we called him Mooch back then, he was a turtle head with my father. So a lot of times in the house, I would be and I actually use it as what I called in my youth. The reason I used to became fat and lazy really at the end of the day was because I would cop out and be able to go and hang out with my mom, and she would make food and cook, or we would do lazy stuff watching TV, instead of my dad is like a psychopath warrior who's like, oh, we're gonna go run out into the mountains and like, go do some crazy stuff, where I always used to be able to kind of lean on, let me go ahead and just hang out and be a sport. I can even remember young in Alaska, I used to tell everybody my favorite sport was soccer, just because nobody played soccer, and I knew that meant I wouldn't have to play. That's how lazy I was. Real talk.
So that's pretty cool, man. Because I mean, if you've listened to some of the podcasts that we've put up, Fresh has always kind of labeled himself or lived his life as being different from the crowd. So that's just an early example of him stepping into that role. So that's pretty cool, man. So you a mama's boy, basically.
I am, but I'm not. It's funny. I guess over time, I don't even know the best way to say. I love my mom to death. Will do anything for her, but at the same time, I have been. My family created me and my brother kind of talk about this all the time, to be very independent, almost in the sense of like, our job is to make sure our family, my wife, my child, are good, and that we have things going on, and we need to make sure that we are immediately here. And it's because growing up, we were never around like our extended family. We would go visit, here, maybe there, where we would go visit, but we didn't have like that base. I'm sure the same thing, where it's everybody comes to this house on holidays, and we always know each other and what's going on and all that. We didn't have all of that. So I love my mom, but we are definitely, all of our, me, my family, my brother's family, my dad, and his girlfriend up in Michigan, and then my mom here in Florida. We all have love and we'll do anything for each other, but we all kind of have that. We need to make sure our immediate circle is what is our true focus, and making sure that nothing can break down your kingdom.
Right. Good stuff, man. So you say you ended up in Cooper City?
Cooper City.
So that's where you did like high school and all that good stuff at?
Yep. Cooper City, Florida. Well, before that was Shaker Heights, and I definitely got to make sure I shout out Shaker Heights. I did a lot of growing up in Shaker Heights. When we moved down, I thought coming from Alaska to Ohio, I just thought that I was going to. I had no clue what was going on. But I mean, in Alaska, I was the man. My mom, we used to do, ever since I was 6 years old, I've been dancing and doing fashion shows. My mom used to lead fashion shows. My brother was like a basketball superstar. My dad was doing stuff that I felt like we were like, the governors of Alaska. So leaving was just like, what do you mean? What are we going to do? This doesn't make sense. And, cried, bawled, didn't want to do it. But sure enough, within, once I moved down to Ohio, going to school there, middle school to my freshman year of high school, definitely had, some great times, met some great people. A couple of them I still, stay in contact with through Facebook here and there. But then the journey definitely took us down to Cooper City, Florida. That was another shock because I'd spent 4 years in Ohio and thought that again, oh man, we're here. I'm the man again. I actually got friends. I'm cool. I'm dancing. I just got into high school. My brother was a senior in high school, so I had a cool senior brother while I was a freshman that could kind of, make sure that I didn't get, my butt whipped too much, but it was, I still got the rope show, so it was real dope. And then next thing I know, boom, psych, we about to move again. Same situation. Oh man, I thought it would have been amazing here. I could deal with it. Come down here and met one of my, I call him my other brother, Sam Weiner. The first day of high school, and me and him have been, best friends ever since. And I mean, it definitely, while it was, of course, a huge change, when you're making that travel change, but it has definitely helped shape and mold me into the entrepreneur that I am today.
Right, and we're gonna hit on that a little bit later. I'm interested in the culture, how you transition from state to state, culture to culture, because for me, I went all around, went from Virginia to Florida, back and forth and whatnot, and the cultures are completely different. So how was that transition from, I guess, Ohio to that down south Florida culture? Because I mean, I would have never known you came from Ohio just because you've been down there for so long. It seems so ingrained in you at this point.
It's funny because I'm one of those black guys who gets told all the time that I talk white. But at the end of the day, when people are, they're more amazed because I'm a very outgoing guy. I enjoy having a good time. I'm the person who could, I'm the class clown who would still get good grades, but could do something extremely disruptive in class and not get sent to the principal's office. And it'd be like, I would often have my teachers cracking up on doing stuff in the middle of class when it probably wasn't the best time to be making a joke or pointing something out. But I'm just that type of spirit. I enjoy having a good time. I tell people, it's my biggest asset and my biggest default is I don't want to say default, but my biggest it goes back and forth is my passion. That I can be very passionate about things, and that's something that can be a turn on or turn off very immediately for people. People will see me and think that I'm, oh man, he's so loud, or he's so this, or dang, I can't believe he would talk to you like he said something very slick to you. How would he talk to you like that? But do you realize Ian just helped me, build the back patio of my porch, when nobody else would come over here. Yeah, he was cussing me out and talking crap the whole time he was doing it, but nobody else would come over and do it at all. So you know what? I'll take the 30 minutes of laughing and hearing him make jokes about random crap in order to make sure that I accomplish the goal.
And I think that's one of the things I love the most about you is that energy. And even though, like you said, we out here building this friends, and I'm gonna let you know about it, but we're gonna have a good time while we're doing it, man. I think that's one of the biggest things you bring to the table. Moving on down the timeline, so Cooper City, you ended up at the U. How was that time there? What was your experience like at University of Miami?
Nothing short of amazing. I think probably 90% of people who actually go to college would say, you know, looking back, those were some of the best years of their life, and really also look at it as, man, I wish I would have seized a lot more of those opportunities. I really wish I would have taken a hold of a lot more of the things I had really laid out for me that I just kind of disregarded. Going back so from Alaska, we got pushed down to Ohio because my mom and dad both got master's degrees and decided that, my mom decided that she wanted to become a lawyer, so she wanted to go to law school. We had a choice of going to California or down to Ohio won. Obviously, she went to Case Western Law School. After graduating, came down here because we wanted to meet the cold. So after becoming a lawyer, she was a state attorney down here. Really hated it, couldn't stand it, and by chance wound up getting a position as the dean of students at the University of Miami. This was when I was a sophomore, junior in high school.
Oh, got that good.
And so that's what was and being outgoing, it's odd because when we first came down here, I was supposed to go to a art school, but then I wound up going to Cooper City High School, and it was more me being an idiot at a young age of not understanding and feeling like, oh man, I'm gonna go to art school, I'm gonna become a nerd, and ain't nobody gonna mess with me, and not knowing like, man, Tupac went to art school. Well, go to art school. Like, what are you, stupid? And from that, I went to just regular, high school. But when I was ready to graduate, all I wanted to do was go to California and roll the dice. Yo, I'm going out there. I'm going to become famous. I don't care what nobody says. I'm going to go figure out something. I just want to go out to California. I'm going to be gone. My mom and dad are like, look, you have this amazing education at this amazing university that you can get at an amazing price. Guess what? Here to take your amazing self and be sitting over here.
Hey man,
figure it out.
I don't know if I could disagree with that, man, because when you're talking about a discount, a nice discount, faculty discount off of $35,000 a year.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't say no. I jumped in and wholeheartedly, and really, when they told me that, I said, okay. I took the SAT. I sent my scores to one school. I said, everything to one school, and was like, if that's what it's going to be, Mom, then you better work the magic, because this is I'm not applying nowhere else. I applied to 0 other schools. I didn't ask nobody else for nothing. I didn't do nothing in high school. I didn't play any sports or anything like that, but when ninth grade JV, I was, the dude, or JV basketball. We was out here,
What was your average, man? You was getting like 20 and 10. What we looking at?
Maybe 20 to 10 seconds of playing time. That's what I was averaging about 20 to 10 seconds of playing time. But man, I did a little bit of every sport though when I was younger, because my dad was I used to wrestle, I played football, I've done all of it. I just wasn't good enough I'm good enough to be an intramural. I'm a Miami Hurricane intramural champion. You better believe it. Flag football, basketball, a couple of them. You know what I mean? But we never had enough to take it to the collegiate level.
I got you. So, what was your major at the U?
Marketing.
All right, so you got marketing. When did the DJing come into play?
Like I said, I've been dancing all my life. Literally since I was 6 years old, I've been on stages performing. Something that is always carried throughout. Everywhere that I went, I wound up, in Ohio, I was dancing at the school, the school hip hop dance team. Came to down here, and the same thing at University of Miami. I was, a member and then the president of Chaos for many years, which is, again, the hip hop dance team funded by the University of Miami. So in doing that, I have always just been involved in music. Probably one of my proudest moments ever was I gained some weight right after probably like my junior year, maybe senior year of school, and all of Chaos, the dance team, we decided we were going to go. This is back when the Miami Soul, the WNBA team, had just decided to have a franchise down here in Miami. So they had auditions, for the dance team, and we all go to the audition. So it's me, I got like 3 dancer body females with me, and I got another friend another dancing dude who dancer body, and then me. I was overweight at the time, but we're all walking down the aisle to go onto the arena floor in order to kind of warm up before they have the tryouts. And we're walking down, all of a sudden I hear somebody, hey. I turn around like, you talking to me? Security guy. It's like, hey man, the dancers can go down there, but all the other, if you're just gonna watch, you have to go into the stands. You can't go down onto the stage, onto the floor if you're not trying out. And I looked at him like, what do you mean I'm auditioning? And this guy laughed in my face, like, a wholehearted laugh. Really? You okay, whatever. All right, my bad. Go ahead, dude. Go down there and, of course, have the tryouts, do what we do. I do what I do. Leaving out the arena, and all of a sudden I hear a scream. The scream again sounds from me. Hey! Turn back around, it's the same dude. And he's just like, man, I want to apologize to you, bro. He's like, I'm not gonna lie, you killed it. Like, I ain't never seen nobody move like that, especially for your son. Like, yo, man, I apologize, dog. You killed that stuff. I hope that I see you out there during the season. And so that was one of the moments in my life where it's like, yo, if you put your all into whatever you do and really understand, man, it doesn't matter. I could have easily let that crumble me and had the worst audition ever. But kind of like you do when somebody tells me, oh, man, you can't do that, especially not the way that you look. Really? Okay. Bet. Let's go. Let me show you then. So from that always having that music dancer base, over time in high school, I was a dancer for a couple DJs. One of my the assistant coach of my JV basketball team was DJ, cornball DJ, but I used to go and dance for him. And then in college, I got with my DJ mentor, Sage, and really started helping him, just being the record dude, carrying stuff around and seeing what he did, and the maturation of going from, using records to using CDs, but then having now everything's digital and still being able to have that record feel, but you don't have to carry around 8,000 records. That kind of allowed me to, I have a large listing of different songs, and I have all types of albums of music. Wow, I can actually start to use this and start to be able to play around. From there, my brother-in-law, about 4 years ago, he wound up buying a DJ set and started doing some parties. I started playing around with it at his house, and he eventually was like, man, you want to come out and do some of these parties to make some of this money? And I'm not one to turn down many dollars, so I went ahead and was like, yo, let's bust a move. The rest is history.
Okay, cool, man. So when you was doing your DJ apprenticeship thing, would you say it gave you like the old school way of doing stuff, and you kind of grew up in that in-between area as far as DJs when it transferred from being the records going into the digital age where now everybody can be a YouTube DJ, or they got apps where you can just upload playlists, you can scratch and mix all on your phone or whatnot? Do you feel that there's like, I guess, a lack of something for the craft, or do you just think that's just the maturation of the times, it is what it is?
I think anything's what you make of it. You can give 1,000 different DJs, a playlist of 100 songs, and you're going to get 1,000 different ways that playlist is going to get spun and what's going to happen in and out of it. And I think that I know there are plenty old heads who would look at me and be disappointed in things that I do, but I am based off of how I learn. I learn through a program that is a digital program. And while I still am in awe and work hard to implement, those foundational, DJ tools in my arsenal, I still take advantage of being able to understand technology and use it to my advantage in order to make something that sonically is awesome. Like, that's always my goal. When I first got into deciding, okay, you know what, I'm going to DJ, my first DJ name was Maverick Malone. It's going to be DJ Maverick Malone. Why? I don't know. But then we started getting like in thinking about it, Maverick Malone. I really can't remember what had me on Maverick Malone. I'm really trying to I was off my rocker back then. But anyway, I always, when somebody asked me, well, what do you want? Like, what do you want your mix to be? I was like, man, I just want it to be fresh. And then I was just like, wow, that's really all it is I just want stuff to be fresh. Like, I just want anything to just be fresh. I just want it to be fresh. I was like, oh, snap, be fresh, very fresh. Oh, I'm gonna be very fresh. So it was Barry Be Fresh because Barry been fresh because the B is for Ben. And from there, it was just, you know what? I want to make sure that I keep a vibe when I do stuff. I don't, my mentor, while I get pieces from him, I don't, like, you can listen to his mixtape and listen to my mixtape, it's going to sound totally different. That's the way it's supposed to be for DJs, but at the same time, like I said, I utilize things different. I don't necessarily always worry about somebody completely finishing out their verse before I'm mixing in some new stuff and trying to create something different. But I think that's the beauty of, just like in production and in dance and in a lot of artistic things that you do, when you can have a bit of a base to have a understanding of how to utilize a tool, but when you're not so rooted in that base that you get scared of experimentation. And that's like the biggest thing with me. Like, I play around with my DJ set and try to make remixes and do different things that it's like, well, this is just stuff that I heard this beat that was amazing, and I have these acapellas that are awesome. Let me figure out how do I mesh these together. This is something that I haven't seen or heard, other DJs doing. I might go out and I haven't heard nobody playing this. And when I started to realize, man, I'd rather listen to my mixtape or my stuff than listen to whoever out of the, whatever party. I was like, you know what, man? Well, maybe I need to put two and two together.
I feel you. That's good stuff. So switching directions a little bit. So you say you graduated with the marketing degree. What are you doing with that?
Okay, so graduating with a marketing degree, I actually got into, similar to many people who graduate, wound up having a job that had absolutely zero, well, I won't say zero, because I was the head marketing executive of video games and operations for GameWorks. So pretty much I walked around and cleaned up games and made sure.
He sold the mess out of that one, boy. I'm trying to tell you, I'm like, head marketing for the game. What are you traveling for the new Modern Warfare or something? Like, what are you, man, this dude in here dusting off the games in the storefront.
And back then I was really just a front host. I was the one selling you the game card, and then I graduated to where they eventually, from my personality, realized how awesome I'd be being the person who walks around on Friday and Saturday nights, getting people to play games, giving out cards, handing out, prizes and stuff like that. But from there, I worked and helped many people at the University of Miami are familiar with House of Wings. And so I was a part of the initial launch of the House of Wings brand.
Oh, so that's where we first met.
Yep, exactly. That's what will make you, yes, that will bring it all together for
you. The one in the Grove.
Yes, sir, that was me.
Oh,
that was
man.
Exactly. Many people know me exactly as the dude who used to slay the chicken wings in the Grove.
Ian used to be in that joint slanging them wings. I'm talking about flipping, like, Ian be in that joint doing work. Register, frying, saucing,
Yeah.
register,
Every
and everybody was in that joint having a good time. Like
having
he's
a
talking
good
to
time,
people.
music going, people talking, chatting. I'm working the front, back, side to side by myself, but getting it done. Yeah, man, that was one of the hardest, but one of the funnest times of my life. Working at House of Wings and really working with Musaddiq Muhammad and the whole, Headliners brand. They're amazing dudes, and really having that opportunity helped. There are lessons that I learned there that I still, utilize and have in my head on a daily basis.
Okay, hold up, stop right there. Let me get one, just one.
This thing ain't got no brain. This is a direct quote from Musaddiq, where the situation was, we on the locks on the door. If you remember at House of Wings, there were these big, huge doors that had these like very old, like historic locks on them. They weren't the typical go buy at Home Depot type locks. Something that happened where the lock wasn't shutting right, whatever. So he tasked me with, fixing the lock. I tried to change the thing out. I couldn't get it to work, blah, blah, blah. I'd been messing with it for, 30 minutes, an hour. And Musaddiq comes walking in the door and is just like, hey, what's going on with the lock? Oh, man, I can't get it. Just looks at me. This thing ain't got no brain. I look at him kind of confused, like, what? I said, this thing, this lock, it ain't got no brain. You have a brain. You should be able to figure out anything. Anything that doesn't have a brain should not be able to beat you. From that moment on, I took it. I accepted that challenge of realizing, what? Exact things can't beat you if you have a brain. You have the ability to figure anything out. It might take you some time. It might, there might be some different angles you have to go at it with. But by that simple, this ain't got no brain. I hear that daily. It resonates in my head daily just because of I all the time. I tell it to my daughter too, like, stop telling me about trivial things that you are intelligent. You have a device that is better than any computer ever created that allows you to do anything that you want to. It may take some, deep diving into yourself, but you still have that device. Quit selling yourself short. So after House of Wings, I became a substitute teacher for some time because I just didn't know what I wanted to do. Led myself into radio sales. From radio sales, I got into learning more about digital marketing and the different opportunities and what they have going on there, and was recruited by a company called Reach Local. They're actually one of the largest resellers of AdWords and different online marketing avenues. But from there, after getting recruited by them, I actually wound up, my manager at the time, who's now my partner in our firm, we started the Reach Local down here in South Florida. It was really successful, and wound up where we didn't feel that the company was living up to the expectations that they had us setting out to the clients. From there, we kind of decided that it would be a better venture for us to go ahead and create our own opportunity that would allow us to truly know that we are going to be able to fulfill what we're discussing with clients, as opposed to, being told one thing and then not being able to fulfill and being left as the client-facing person who has to have the egg on their face and has to deal with that angry client. Having that happen over and over again, it got tiring, and we said, there's a better way. So that led us to start Acuitive Digital, which is our strategic digital advertising agency. We work with everything from small, your mom or pop restaurant, as far as helping them with branding, logos, website, whatever else they may need, but then also to larger enterprise clients where we're talking, hospital systems, newspapers, media companies, and really helping them figure out how to navigate the digital landscape, or really help companies take their offline success and transfer it to success online.
And how long have you been doing this with Acuitive?
Our agency has been in business for 6 years now.
6 years. So within that 6 years, being an entrepreneur, and that's one of the things that you also bring to the table as far as when we're speaking, with Fledgeology on the 13th floor. What do you think, I guess one thing that you would give to or leave with like aspiring entrepreneurs about like maybe pitfalls, successes, anything to kind of keep them, motivated to get to their goal as far as being an entrepreneur? Because I mean, you have a lot of experience with it.
I'm a Nike guy. Just do it. Like I think that we, as people, period, are very timid and very scared to ask for, first off, but then actually go get what we feel we want, and more importantly, what we deserve. And a lot of people sit stagnant simply because they do not ask, because they do not take that step, because they do not approach it. There's a lot of things that you can have, receive, get accomplished, get done if you take the initiative to ask for them. And some of the times the asking is just as simple as asking the universe to yourself, speaking it into, abundance. Being able to say that you are going to do this, speaking it out loud, not in your head, but letting it be something that resonates with your universe and everyone's universe, that allows it to be out there, is what allows you to start moving in that direction.
Easy. So straight from the horse's mouth, a successful entrepreneur right there. So, just do it, as he said. Fast forward to Fledgeology. How did you get involved with Fledgeology?
At the University of Miami, I met, our prolific orator, Carol, and had and he actually knew my mom before he knew me. So my mom actually tasked him secretly, me finding out later on, as, being my big brother on campus, to kind of make sure that he watched out for me. But we instantly clicked. He's always been a source of light and inspiration for me, and a person who I could look to ask real advice. But at the same time, I've been his little brother. There's been times where he's had to put me in line, but there's also times when it's like he looks at me in awe and amazement of what I've been able to do, and in some situations when it's been against the advice that he may have set out. But I think that's what makes our relationship awesome, but then also the dynamic that brought me into taking a more active to be in Fledgeology and to be a part of it, is just simply he felt my spirit when we all had we have a group of friends called the Players Oasis from the University of Miami. Shout out Players Oasis. But that we reconnected a couple years ago through one of our friends' weddings. In the reconnection, we started to kind of realize, we want to. It's better to make money with your friends than it is to make money with anybody else. So we started saying, well, how can we do this? And so we started with a group of all of us on the phones and calls, similar like we're doing the hangouts. And then all of a sudden, people start dropping off and stuff starts getting serious. And we really start trying to weed out, well, what are we doing? What are we going to do? What are we talking about? I don't feel like talking to y'all every week. I don't want to just see y'all. And so people start falling out. And next thing we got down to this group where Carol, it was, what are people doing that we can figure out? How can we help each other do whatever the hell we want to do outside of, hey, I can't help Carol at CarMax. But he was like, you know what? I really want to get my motivational, inspirational speaking company off the ground. I want to be able to do this. I feel like it's something that, my grandma, like he always says, my grandma told me I could do this, that he was very passionate about it. And being that I am a serial entrepreneur, I've taken the opportunity to help, many people start all types of businesses, and I've seen how all types of businesses are ran. I jumped on the opportunity. Whatever we need to do, let's make it happen. Let's start figuring it out. And that was just the nucleus of everything exploding to what it has become. I would have never looked back 2 years ago and thought that we would have a podcast and that I'd be sitting here, giving my life story to America, the people out here in the world. But it's amazing and awesome, and I love this. I love the I guess the one thing I missed as an entrepreneur is the camaraderie of having a real, having my people around. When you are an entrepreneur, sometimes you don't get to have the cooler talk of corporate America people. So I used to always butt heads with my wife simply because when she was in corporate America, she has her 13th, I call them 13th grade friends. So your friends after school and everything, your work friends and all that other stuff, where you still get to feel like you're in population and you know what I mean, stuff's going on. When you're an entrepreneur, it's the four walls that are around you a lot of the times. It's you in your car, it's you getting yelled at by your spouse because you don't, are not relating to, everything else. I don't care about love and hip hop right now. I'm trying to figure out how to make, this check not bounce. You know what I mean? That it's all of this going on that it really changes your view and perspective and understanding of, man, I enjoy and value my friendships, but I want to empower everybody who I have that feeling with and have them, feel the same energy that I feel when I'm able to know that, hey, vacation is when I want it. And I honestly feel like my whole life is a vacation. I recently was just supposed to go to Denver last week. Flight got canceled literally on my way to the airport, and I didn't care. Like, it was like, I care because, I did want to go, but it wasn't as heartbreaking as most people who, man, I waited all year for this vacation, and now the vacation can't go. What I'm going to do? Me and my wife looked at each other like, oh, that kind of sucks. All right, let's go and have an amazing dinner at the Hard Rock. Let's go do some stuff. Let's have a good weekend. It doesn't matter. We're still going to get to there. We'll be there within the next couple months. I'm not going to sit here and trip. To me, it's more I look at it more of, I tell the universe all the time, I hate the cold. So all the universe was doing was saying, bro, it's really cold out there right now. You don't need to get on my ass. I'm going to just hook you up. I know you were trying to, do this cool, quick little, jump out trip, but let's kick back to reality. Here's what you need to do. So at the end of the day, it's about that. I think that everybody should live an awesome life, should live an exciting life, should live a fun life. They shouldn't feel that weight of the world when they're going around day to day, and that they should be able to, pursue their dreams. Everybody has many passions and things that they're good at, but are taught that there's really only one that you should go after. I know I'm good at a lot of stuff. I'm great at a lot of stuff. So I try a lot of stuff. Period.
There it is, man. One thing I want everybody to know is that energy that you just got the last 40 or so minutes, that isn't the only thing that this dude brings to the table with the 13th floor and with Fledgeology, man. He is literally the jack of all trades. I mean, he's on the editing for us. He's on the artwork. He's coming up with creative ways for everything to get done. So just on behalf of Fledgeology and the 13th floor, man, I really appreciate the work that you do. I know it's definitely got to be hard sometimes because you are the guy that gets most of, like, hey, Ian, can you do this? Hey, I was thinking about this. Can you create that? This, that, and the third. And, he does it as long as you get it to him the right way. He does it, no complaining, no qualms.
I tell you, it's been a long time that I put in the, had to do entrepreneurial tasks. And so the sense of working with a large group of people who, we have one goal that needs to get done, but there are so many different pieces and things going on that I've taken the time to understand and learn. You know what? If you start to, it's all about process. Once you create and set a process for what you want to accomplish and stick to it, you can actually get things done. Where a lot of people fail is by doing the, hey, you know what, we're doing this, and you know what, I'm going to shoot you a text of what I need done, or I'm going to go ahead and shoot you this random email where we have, a CRM system set up to, help us be progressive and to help us understand what we're going to do, have everything lined up. So being able to be the voice that stands up when any other way of something happening, no, I can't accept if it comes over here. If it doesn't come in the right way, then it's going to leave. As soon as that crack happens, it's like a crack in a dike. It's gonna create a crumble that was gonna destroy your whole dike. You don't want that hole. You have to make sure you stay the course.
Exactly. So, man, yeah, definitely we appreciate everything you bring to the table, man. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. That is Dope Beard Fresh. DJ Barry Beard Fresh. He done came, gave us a whole lot, man. Next up, I ain't gonna say who's next up. We just gonna leave it to the next show, man.
One more.
Yeah.
It's just know it's gonna be somebody else who's awesome. They ain't gonna be as fresh as me, but they still an awesome person, So y'all could believe that. Other than that, take us out of this joint.
There it is. So I appreciate everybody listening to us here on the 13th floor, where the furniture isn't always the best, but the views are amazing. Yes, sir.
Out.
Now is your time to flank.